You said that your daughter was implanted with one implant. What made you get two?
Because she could have better discrimination in finding the sounds. Obviously, we have two ears for a reason, and having two implants would give her the same thing, so she can better locate where the sound is coming from. Plus, if one dies or one battery breaks, then she'll have a backup on the other side, because before that point, when it was broken or the battery died, she had nothing.
So
And this one has better technology as well.
So you do see a difference in one versus the other, having two?
Not yet, not yet. We're still very early in the process. We haven't even started that auditory verbal therapy that I was talking about. So at this point, she gets 4 of the link sounds, and that's about all. You can scream behind her, you could probably shoot a gun behind her, and she wouldn't turn around.
So that's what you were saying earlier when you said that right now she's having a hard time distinguishing what dog meant.
Yes,
Okay.
she's going all the way back to the basics, like
So
a 1-day-old baby. She has no idea. So when we take her old one off, I mean, with her old one, she has really good hearing. She has it right there in the speech banana, you know, she's good, but the other one, we're going all the way back, and she has to go through a time period of 3 weeks where she has to take the old one off. And when she wears the new one, she doesn't hear anything, which has caused a lot of frustration. But I'll be taking that away, the old one away here soon, so wish me luck.
Good luck.
So you can't wear both at the same time?
For the first part of auditory verbal training, they want you to take the old one off, so she can learn to listen with that first one.
Oh.
The best way to do that is to only depend on the new one and not
So
get
once she
anything from
hears
the other
out the
one.
new one, you'll introduce both?
Yeah, like right now, she says the new one is a little bit fuzzy, or it's confusing, or she just doesn't hear with it very well. So when it's on, I mean, I talk to her, and what she can lip read, she'll say back, but it's never like, she's like
she
if
knows.
I say, Emily, how are you? And she's like, Emily, what are you doing? Like, you just guess the rest.
Yeah.
Because she read
Try to
my
lip
lips,
read.
Emily, because she does lip read a little bit, but she doesn't, she makes up the rest. Or she'll even answer, and I'm like, that's not what I said. Yeah, it's really like way, way back.
Have you
For
heard
those
of
of you
any
that
of these
know
like
noise, too.
failing or having like a bad outcome to?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes people, that's why I said auditory verbal is so important, because the success in an implant depends a lot on that. But there are people that get them and never get anything, or don't like them. She doesn't necessarily, at this point, she doesn't like her new one. You know, I think when we put it on, I think she was expecting to hear and experience the same as her old one. And when we put that one on, she was like,
What is this?
I mean, we got it in April, she stopped wearing it. I just started making her wear it again on Monday. She didn't take it to camp with her even. She was like, nope, don't like it, hurts her ears, you know, just like wearing a new pair of flip-flops.
Yeah.
When it rubs, it's rubbing on the back of her ear, and it's aggravating her, and she just doesn't like it. She depends a lot on her old one. And after that, she'll back up with her hands and use sign language again.
So you said that earlier that the big D deaf, you said in your experience that you've run into some people that they don't like that idea of implanting your child. Is it for pain, or is it for more, you were saying?
They honestly don't think that there's anything wrong with them. They don't think that, they think that they can live in society using sign language. You know, they think that going into a restaurant and ordering on a piece of paper is bad. I mean, if you never heard and you never had heard before, you never had the experience of hearing and listening to people, you wouldn't know what you were missing. You know, you don't know.
Like a religion almost.
Yeah.
They just have certain beliefs.
Yeah, when you believe in something, and it's just what it is. They don't want to
So
be
would you say that
fixed.
it's a little bit different because they're the big D deaf, meaning that that's like a deaf culture thing? So they
Yeah.
come from parents that are deaf, grandparents that are deaf, etc. So they don't know how to hear, but typically the people that want to implant their child are hearing parents.
Yes, hearing parents. There are a few. I have one friend that works for ZVRS, and they actually implanted their daughter that they adopted, but the dad was big D deaf. Hearing, or deaf people 40 generations. The mother actually lost her hearing, I think she was about 8 or 9 years old, and to meningitis, she lost her hearing. And she wanted her to have an implant. And when she had her first 3 children, she actually got implanted, and that was an unsuccessful implant. She didn't like it, it didn't work out for her. There are some times when they don't have it, or it doesn't work out for them, because until you get in there and you put the electrodes through the cochlear, you really don't know what that person's gonna get. I mean, and they're replacing, we have thousands and thousands of hair cells in our cochlear. My daughter has 22 electrodes to 1,000. So obviously it's gonna be a big difference in what she can hear. And it's not even real hearing, like I said, so it's pretty amazing that somebody can take a sensation. I mean, it's almost like tapping on somebody's arm and having them know exactly, oh, I'm sorry, you wanted a cookie? I mean, and her brain is just gets it like we hear. It's a lot. It's in depth, but she loves it. I love it.
So she does like it, she's very happy.
She does like her old one. Her new
Well,
one,
the new one
she's
she's
not.
iffy about, but
Yeah, I think, like I said, she was very disappointed. I think she expected to put it on and have that
it's
hearing.
gonna happen right now.
But she's never ever heard out of that ear, so therefore her auditory memory in that side is nothing. She has nothing, and I was hoping that she could make connections between the two sides. You know, and the audiologist wasn't even able to tell me whether she would be able to connect any of the sounds or not, but she didn't. I don't know if that's the case with everybody, but my daughter didn't. So now we have to go all the way back to the basics. I mean, we did this whole thing when she was 2. They say it will come faster now since she has it, so that's where I'm at now. Because once my speech therapist has her baby, I would like her to come back and not have to go to the other one anymore, because she's so against my views. I mean, I like signing with my daughter. I actually wish I signed more in my home. But to tell me to stop signing at this point, what will my daughter have?
Well, I mean, that wouldn't make
She's
sense
bilingual.
either. If she goes in the water, doesn't she have to take it off?
Yeah, when she goes
So
in the
when she
water.
goes in the water, she can't
When
hear.
she
So her only
showers.
form of communication
Yeah.
is sign language.
Showers, playgrounds, she can't wear it on any of those times.
Right.
Her battery dies in public, what am I supposed to do? You know, not
Yeah.
touching my daughter was implanted
Son.
for the first time at 2. Terrible twos, main cause of terrible twos is lack of language.
Yeah.
So we had a very big lack of language. Luckily, when she was born, I had somebody come into my life and teach me about sign language and encourage me to do the total communication approach, and that's what I chose to do. I had to lie and beg and plead, but it took us a year to get approved for it because I was using sign language, and I ended up having to tell them that I didn't. But they ended up actually implanting her, and now I find myself back in one of their offices begging for their help with auditory verbal training, but hopefully she can do it real quick and we can go back where we are happy, where people support us, don't down us in the first 5 minutes of being there. Okay, so now you guys have to critique me. I'm gonna have Miss Adrienne come up and she's going to ask you guys a couple of questions.